high school, Louise had a decision to make, which involved going against the majority of her graduating class. She believes her resilience gained from her family and church upbringing helped her to resist peer pressure and make correct decisions. Her speech today is about resilience, and her title is "You Had Better Give That Some Thought," and speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Let's welcome Louise.
I have two rhetorical questions for you today. The first one is, have you ever felt upset about something that somebody said to you?
Yes.
And the second question is, what did you do about it? Did you talk to a pal or a parent or a professional about your feelings? Or did you do what my parents did when they were raising me many, many, many years ago? When my mother got upset, she would become depressed and clam up. My dad, on the other hand, would fly off the handle and swear a blue streak. I have come to realize that those two emotional responses might not have been the most appropriate to get down to the bottom of an issue. In fact, short-term anger and short-term depression are merely the tip of the iceberg when it comes to identifying someone's true emotional core. Fortunately, over the years, we have learned a lot about psychology. One of the things that we have learned is that when you're feeling upset, it's important to go and talk to somebody about your feelings. When you do that, you build up a little bit of resistance to add to your armor that you take out with you to face the world every day. And if you go again and talk to somebody else about some new feelings that you are having, you will have had that build up from the first time you did that. And so the second time you do that, that adds on to your armor, if you will, and makes you just that much stronger for the next thing that happens. When I was a little girl, I lived in a family where my dad worked in a job he didn't like to support us, but he went to work every day. He always paid the bills. We always had food on the table. And my mother made sure that we four daughters were fed and dressed, and that we made it out the door to go to school and Sunday school on time. They, to me, are an example of people who hang in there, even though things were not easy for them, and they just go along and do what they know they need to do, regardless. In my dad's instance, he made it through 8th grade and left home and supported himself the whole rest of his life. Why was that? It's because he didn't have a home to go to. His mother had died, and his dad had lost the family homestead. My mother was also homeless for a while after her mother died and left 12 children for my mother's dad to support and take care of. But he did it. Again, I learned that stick-to-itiveness and that I can do attitude from my parents, who just hung in there and did what they thought was the right thing. Very proud of them. An example of that, I truly believe that it was my upbringing that gave me the resilience to be able to face a lot of things in my life, such as when I was a senior in high school. I had a little incident arrive. Called a senior sneak. The boys in my senior class decided that they wanted to take a senior sneak. They wanted to skip school one day, get in their cars and drive to this hot springs and just have a good time for the day. So their representative, the boy leader of the school, came to me, the student body president. Actually, I defeated this boy for student body president, and wanted me to go along. But I was very, very upset and worried about that because it was against the school board's rules, and also, knowing my friends, I realized there would be some beer drinking along the way. Dilemma. I went to my dad and I explained to him the situation, and he said to me, "You had better give that some thought." He didn't tell me what to say, what to do. But I agonized and I thought and I thought and I thought. Finally, I did not go on the retreat. I went to school, and guess what? Every single girl in our class showed up at school that day, and all the boys were gone on the sneak. So, I want to say, 50 years later, I went to my 50-year class reunion, and this boy came up to me and he says, "So, Louise, what about our senior sneak?" I just gave him a big smile and looked at him and I said, "My dad said I should think about that," and walked away.